From paying for dance lessons to becoming Colorado Springs celebration expert, today's guest turned a mom's side hustle into a thriving family business. Let's find out how she's doing it. I'm Sandy Bobal-Zuniga, the founder of Colorado Springs Town Tidings. Be in the know on the go for all things Colorado Springs, delivered right to your inbox. And today I'm sitting down with Ashley Anderson, the creative force behind Anderson Designs LLC. What started a decade ago as a simple way to fund her daughter's dance lessons has evolved into a premier family-run event styling company. It's a true team effort. Her husband, a retired veteran, custom builds their marquees, and even her daughters are involved in the magic. Beyond the stunning balloons and marquee letters, Ashley is on a mission to make sure every milestone in our city is seen, celebrated, and valued. She's not just styling events, she's building community, connections, and memories. Ashley, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you so much for having us on. I'm honored to be here.
I am so excited to actually have you on. I've known you for a couple of years now, just through community events, and it took you a while to come on, so I'm so glad to have you.
Thank you.
So I'm curious, are you from Colorado Springs or did you get here a roundabout way?
I am actually from Ogallala, Nebraska, so Lake McConaughey area, and I came out to Colorado for college.
Oh, wow. What brought you, what'd you do in college?
I went to the University of Northern Colorado up in Greeley and went to study social work. Obviously, I'm not doing that anymore. And just life brought me down here.
Okay. So did I already said that your husband is a retired veteran. So did that play into any way that you got into Colorado Springs itself?
No, I actually met him here. Um, So I was down here a few years before I think he wound up being stationed here.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what made you decide Colorado Springs since you had grown up in Nebraska, you were up in Greeley. So out of all the places, why our beautiful city?
At the time, that's just how it worked out.
Well, we're glad you're here. So you started with a business again to help your daughter's dance lessons, and it was called M&M Creations over a decade ago. What were you making back then, and what made you say yes to balloons and marquees when most people would basically stay in their own lane?
You know, right? Oh my gosh. So at the time, it was just smaller things. I had my vinyl cutter machine, that I still use to this day. I've never upgraded, I've never replaced it. It is the same one I started out with.
Is that a cricket?
Um, the other one, Silhouette.
Okay.
Yep, I still have it. Um, and I was just doing things like custom shirts or customizing different items, things like that, smaller signs. And then Jason started making bigger signs for me, so that we could do a lot of like the custom work and things like that. And he discovered he enjoyed making the sign frames, right? But wasn't really interested in learning to use a vinyl machine. So he bought a laser engraver so he could do cutout words for these big, beautiful signs that he makes instead. So enter our lives is the giant laser engraver that takes up a whole stall of our garage.
That's the big boy toys as opposed to your vinyl machine, which is the rest of us.
Yes.
So typical guy, but he's making it work for a successful business. So we got to give it to him. A good
Absolutely.
investment.
Absolutely.
So the back then the M&M Creations, what you started. Tell me a little bit about that name.
It just stood for Mom and Maddie.
I love that. And Maddie is your 15-year-old. Now, I have done an article on her when she was a little entrepreneur, and everyone in the community loves her. And we will touch more on her story in another episode. So for now, I love that M&M was just the both of you. That shows so much heart between the two of you and just your family in general, how precious they are to you. And that I think spills over to Anderson Designs LLC, and everything you touch, you're everywhere and doing every event possible. You go from corporate events to little individual birthday parties and everywhere in between, fundraisers and reunions, you name it, you guys can do it, right?
Yeah, we try, absolutely. It's important to us to be able to help our clients celebrate what's meaningful to them.
Yes. And so you're not restricted by the size of the event, correct?
Not usually, no.
You know, because I've seen your work and you've gone from, like I said, big corporate events to these small in-home, or even I've seen one where it was a birthday in a hotel room and
Yeah.
you decorated it all. So you go from soup to nuts, as they call it, for sure. So your husband Jason builds the marquees. We already covered that, and him buying the big laser engraver knows how
Yes.
to use it. And then Maddie, your 15-year-old, she wires them. Is that correct? Or helps wire?
Jason, yes. So almost as soon as we finished building all of the ones we started out with, I decided I didn't want just plain lights anymore. So he went through and changed them for me. So now they're color changing lights. And there's just a little bit more work involved in that setup. And Jason has taught Maddie how to be a part of that process. I don't know how to do that. So they enjoy that time together, and it's a little bit of a bonding experience for them. And sometimes I personally don't enjoy working with florals very much. Maddie does, so she's come with me to some installs that we've needed a floral assist with, and she has an art for it that I don't possess personally, but she does, and she enjoys it. So
That sounds like the perfect combination. And then tell me a little bit. So you have two younger daughters. One's 5, and then I don't remember the how old the other one is.
she is 3.
Okay, so the 5-year-old is old enough. Does she help paint?
She does, and if you miss a spot, she will definitely let you know. She's our little perfectionist and everything must be perfect. But she's helped inflate balloons and she'll bring in like they're bigger than she is, but she'll help bring a marquee in from the trailer. She'll help take bags of balloons out, all kinds of things. She really likes to be involved in the process, especially if it's something for her school or one of her friends, and it's extra special, right?
Right, absolutely. So we're just waiting for the 3-year-old to get a little bit older, and then you're going to have the whole family involved.
Yeah, she helps too because I don't usually take my garlands to installs already assembled. Like I make clusters or pairs and she puts them in the bag for me. She'll stand
Oh,
right next to me and I'll just hand them to her and she'll put them in the bag, pick the
okay.
bag out for me. So
You're
she likes
starting,
to help too.
of course, because everybody's helping. She probably wants to get in there too.
Yes.
I love that. So, what do you think your daughters understand about celebration and community that most kids their age don't because they haven't been exposed to it?
I think that they have an understanding that it's really important to our family to help give back and to help people feel seen. I think, especially Maddie with her T1D journey that she's been on the past few years. I think she's gone through times in her life where she feels maybe not as seen or not understood. And there's different, milestones with that we celebrate within our family. And I think it's important to all of us to be able to help others celebrate what's meaningful to them and to acknowledge those things.
Right. And that is something that not every kid is exposed to. And because I know you and your heart in general, these are values that these beautiful children of yours will bring into the community and others in general. I know because I know Maddie, I know she has made a huge impact already, and that is a testament to you and Jason. So thank you for bringing these amazing little girls into the world who are going to become amazing women. Now, I know you supported different causes like suicide prevention, children's diabetes, obviously, the USO. How do you decide being a busy mom and business owner and hardly any time for yourself? How do you decide which causes get your time and talent when you could easily just focus on just the paid gigs or, something else? How do you decide who gets your time and attention for your business?
That's kind of a hard question for me. So we try to support military causes when we can because, Jason was active duty for 21 years, and it's important to him to be able to give back to the organizations and the communities that supported him along the way. And just like with Maddie, the Children's Diabetes Foundation does a lot for her. So it's important for all of us to be able to try to give back to them.
So how many gigs in general do you usually take per week, or is it just you say yes to everything and fit it in?
We definitely cannot say yes to everything. Um, but we try to be intentional and because two of our girls are in competitive dance and they have school and things like that. So being present for them obviously is very important to us too. But if we can make it work, we'll be there. But we owe it to our clients too, not to overbook ourselves either, right?
Right. So do you have in general like a number per week that you can fit in, or you just wing it?
It really depends on life. Jason was in Australia for 3 weeks for work, so that kind of took things back a little bit because then it was just me and the girls, right?
What are your favorite events to actually do? Do you have any? I know you like them all, but if you had to pick, what are your favorite
Birthdays,
birthdays?
birthdays, absolutely. Everybody deserves, their one day a year to just truly feel celebrated and reflect on their last year and look forward to their next trip around the sun, right? And that's just I don't know. I am a very big fan of birthdays.
That's interesting. So for me, birthdays just are like another day and I just get through it and everything. It used to be all about the cake, and now things got so expensive. I had a very specific cake I used to have like from a kid, and it was an ice cream cake and it was very specific on the fudge and everything. Now I can't even find somebody to make it. And if I did, the cost is just ridiculous. So it used to be about that. Now it's not about anything anymore. So for you saying everybody should be celebrated, I totally get you. And I'm totally not in that when mine comes around.
I get it. I get it. My dad and well, my mom and dad just used to make birthdays really special growing up. Not anything like over the top extravagant,
Right.
but always felt special for sure. And to be able to give that experience or to even like I don't know, take it off another mom's plate so she can be fully present for her child's birthday and, remember to be in the photos, instead of running around trying to finish her decorating. Like, I appreciate opportunities to be able to give those moments back to
right. But it's also, I've seen you celebrate and have things for not only children, but also people in their 80s. I've seen the balloons and the marquees. So you go from 0 to 100, yeah, or beyond. It doesn't matter. Is there anything different or mindset different from doing the balloons and decorations for the children as opposed to somebody in their 80s? You will have to think of who your audience is, and if it's somebody in elderly and hopefully they have some family or friends that hired you to do this, and it's probably something that is a surprise to them, or maybe I'm wrong.
No, most of them have been, now that I'm thinking about the last few that we've done, and definitely surprised, but very, there's been a couple of them that have never had like a giant birthday before or things of that nature. And you can tell it just hits different.
Right. Well, like I said, I can attest to that because as we get older, birthdays, although we should be grateful for them every year because we're still here. It does seem like they become less, not important, but it's just like another day kind of thing. And so the magic of when we were children having a birthday kind of dissipates. And so when we get older and it maybe family's not around or something like that, having something like you said, some of them haven't had that or haven't had it in so long they can't even remember. That's got to be something really special. And do you ever get to see people reacting or seeing that, or do you set up and you're going by that?
It depends. I'd say probably, gosh, more often than not, I don't get to see in person. Um, but we also have clients who were very intentional in booking that service, right? And um, I find more often than not, we'll get pictures or videos or even just a text message that lets us know that, they were so taken aback or, brought tears to my dad's eyes, things like that. And that's meaningful to hear. We've gotten to be there for a few of them. And it's important to us to see that too, because that's why we're here, right?
Right, absolutely. And again, if you see the after effects, it just solidifies how important you are, your family is, and your business is to our community in general. So, what does it look like when I have an idea and I say, okay, I want to make a big impression on my event, a loved one's birthday, reunion, anything like that? What does it look like doing business with you? So, how do I get a hold of you, and what's the process from there?
The best way to get a hold of us is to either email us or to fill out the inquiry form on our website. And then we just go from there. It's obviously important to know what type of event it is and if they have any inspiration pictures or colors in mind or a theme. Those are important to know about too. Um, we try to be budget friendly because I remember the days where I could not, you know, book the balloon garland or marquee rental for Maddie's party when she was younger. So we try to keep that in mind. And if we know kind of what people are working with, we can make our best recommendation or things of that nature too.
Right. And what is the website?
Andy, I don't know my own website. Oh my gosh.
That's okay. I know it's Anderson Designs LLC.net. And how about
That
an
sounds
email
right.
address?
I do know our email address. It's Anderson Designs LLC at gmail.com.
Okay, we got it. Now, Ashley, I know that you are all over the place. In fact, you just came on from setting up a display for a fundraiser tonight. and you jumped on our interview. So you've got so much going on in your head that we're real. This is how things happen in real life. And I a lot of times can't remember things either. And yet you're still always there delivering what you promised, having amazing displays to celebrate whatever the occasion is, and everything is just professional, well done, beautiful, and you get it all done. And you're there as a mother, as a wife, and I don't know how you do it. So you are all good in general. This is how life goes.
In a day.
So you're all good. Um, so now I'm going to make you think a little bit, but hopefully not too hard. I mean, you've been doing this for so long. Is there a particular some event that comes to mind, or something that either something went not as expected on either the uh-oh, we got to scramble, and what did you do? Or, wow, this is even better than I thought.
Yeah, we did a bridal shower a few weeks ago that was a single color install. It was just one color of balloons, and I had not done that myself before. So I was a little nervous for that one, and I think it turned out to be one of the best ones that we've done yet. Maddie was with me, so she must be my lucky charm. I think that one went really well. Um, I can say last October I was personally victimized by a yucca plant. I've rolled one of my balloons up in my Tahoe window before and not had it pop, but the wind got it and a yucca plant took it. So I had to reinflate a garland and not a lot of time um, on site, and that's not my favorite thing to do. Um,
Do you have backups when you go places?
I take extras with me, but we can't uninflate balloons, right?
Right.
So I take extras with me, but I try to be very intentional and not over inflating anymore, because that's time and money out of our budget, and we like to be able to keep things as cost effective as possible, so we can pass that along to our clients too. Um, so I definitely always have extras with me, but
Maybe not a yucca plant disaster
I
extras.
I know, and they withstand some, rolled one up in a window. It was fine, but
So is the moral of the story, do you ask them if they have any yucca plants? And if so, you're not doing.
gosh, I might moving forward, I might have to add that to our form. Um,
Will not do yucca plants. So what happened with that when you had to reinflate? Did you have to go back home and inflate them, or do you have something on site?
no, I bring my balloon pump with me, just in case that happens, because you never know where you're going to wind up in town. And especially if they're at a venue and your setup window is X to X, like, so I try to have everything I need with us. Uh, sometimes doesn't always happen, but
Right. And I know that you are so hands-on, and so is your family, because I got to witness it last year at the Beyond Fun Fair, or
yeah.
I think that's what it's called. And so you and I were there together, and that's when we actually first met in person, and we got to give each other a big hug. And I remember you were doing the balloons around the kid, I think, tent or slide or something, and you guys were all on the floor, getting the balloons together and everything. And I'm just like, that's my kind of gal. I'm right there with you.
Oh, yeah, that was our bubble house. So we had just gotten that, so that was a new venture for us, but the bubble house is a lot of fun.
It is. What is a bubble house?
It looks like a giant igloo, and then you attach a blower to it, kind of like you would a bounce house, but then it just spins the balloons around, and the kids get in there and have fun chasing those down. It's kind of
Yeah.
fun. It's like a
What
life-size snow globe.
exactly? I remember that. What ages do you allow in there? Because I think I tried to sneak in there.
I mean, I play in it, so
I think you and I were going in there. I can't totally remember, but anyway, we had a lot of fun that day in general. And you were there because you had the that bubble house. So I think you had to be there like the whole day because it wasn't just set up and go.
so we hired so Maddie was there that day working with Ariana at A to Z events, and then I hired one of her friends from dance to run the bubble house for me. But I don't want to go too far in case either one of them needed something. So we like to be able to their dance schedules can be a lot when they get to be their age, especially when they're on a competitive ensemble. So we like to be able to give those kids some opportunities to come help us out when we can, because their schedules don't always allow them to have the job that I had in high school.
Right. Absolutely. So now I'm wondering, I'm going to make you think again. A decade from now, when someone in Colorado Springs hears Anderson Designs, what do you want them to feel, not just think about your business, your family, what you've done in the community? So what's your legacy you're looking to have now that you want people to basically think and feel like when they hear Anderson Designs, obviously I'm going to smile and I got a warm fuzzy feeling. What do you want people to know or maybe think back then or in the future?
Yeah, I think part of why our work is so important to us is because we do live in such a busy world that I don't personally think we always take the time to slow down and appreciate things or celebrate things or even connect with people the way we did 10 years ago. So I can only imagine what that will be like 10 years from now. And I think it's important to stop and celebrate the wins or celebrate the milestones, no matter what they are, because it's not obviously we're big on we want people to feel seen and celebrated, but the world we live in, it's important to maintain those connections too, and not just on Instagram or ChatGPT or whatever it may be. I think it's important to create those milestone moments and photo op moments that provide opportunities to pause and reflect and be present.
Yes, definitely. And I'm a big proponent of that. Back in the day, before you were born, we used to have not digital cameras, they were manual cameras and all kinds of things. And I remember like my dad with the big VHS camera at my graduation. I know I'm dating myself way back, but back then everybody is always trying to capture things, and even digital, that's fine now. But when you're behind those devices, you're not actually in them. You have the memories and the images for later, which is great. And I don't know where the balance is where we put those down and actually experience it IRL, as they call it, in real life, person to person. And so when is enough that we have enough of those digital things so we have those memories for later, but when are we present in the actual event itself? So that I think that's kind of always a balancing act. And you are the queen of balance. So I don't know.
We try.
So yeah, I think anyone being present in these events, and again, what you bring is something a little bit more special to it, and to have these people or events feel special with the creations you make, the marquees, the balloons, the florals, all of that in there, which is awesome. So if anybody is looking for that, or is wondering how to make their events just a little bit more special. They need to connect with you and find out if, what you have going on, if you can do anything, and just have that creative conversation with you and see if that is possible.
Oh, absolutely. And if for some reason we're not available or maybe it's not in our particular wheelhouse, we know a lot of tried and true vendors that we can send referrals to and connect folks with too. So,
Yes, you do. Absolutely. So, Ashley, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us today. It's conversations like this that remind me that behind every thriving business in Colorado Springs is a person with a dream, a purpose, and a story that deserves to be heard. If you want to see the magic Ashley and her family is creating, visit Anderson Designs LLC.net. That's Anderson Designs LLC.net. And if you want to stay connected to more stories that shape our community, head over to cos.towntidings.com to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And thank you so much for being here, Ashley. I'm Sandy Bobal-Zuniga, celebrating our city one business at a time. And I'll see you next week. And again, thank you, Ashley.